Hello, Pascal. Thank you for accepting my interview. Could you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Pascale. I am from Lebanon, but was born and brought up in Nigeria, and I'm currently in Nigeria, and I'm 30 years old.
Okay. Okay, it's fine. Well, I'm going to show you a picture, okay? And you make a comment. This is a woman, a Muslim woman. I don't know if you can see well. Well, I explain you. It is a woman, a Muslim woman. Maybe was born in United Kingdom, maybe not, but is working as police officer in United Kingdom. Here, respecting wearing burqa. What do you think about? Have you seen anything like this in any part in the world?
My personal opinion in this picture is that there is nothing wrong of a Muslim woman to be having in her job a burqa. That does not affect towards the service that she'll be offering to the nation, to the people. The appearance doesn't count. What counts is the nature of the person, the personality of them, and also the way how they treat others. Yes, I have seen in other countries also, even like in Nigeria, over here, people, no matter what's your religion, you are in burqa or not, it's true, it is freaking hot over here, but then they are not anything sort of, sorry to use this word, but discrimination. It's not because you're wearing a burqa that means that you have to stay home. No, maybe that's an Arabic mentality, which the background that I come from have sort of this sense of it, but then there's nothing wrong about it.
Okay, thank you so much. Well, happy that you have seen this in another countries. However, I didn't see. I have not seen. I am from Spain, and there is impossible. I have been in too many countries in Europe. Never seen something like that. So, but I am happy. I agree about. I respect all religion. I respect all culture. So, only wanted to know in your comment. I'm going to show you another picture. Okay.
Sure.
This is an ambulance that I have seen in United Kingdom too. I never seen in another country, but I don't know if have you seen. The ambulance have the colors of the group of LGBT. What do you think about? Have you seen anything about in another place?
Okay, and actually, somewhere like Nigeria or somewhere like Lebanon, they do not support these colors because it's a gay thing, and so now gay people are being mocked at. But I'm very much happy that in some countries people are still encouraging the concept of gay. It is actually quite nice. It's not because it's in an ambulance that they should be putting it there. I personally think that it is an ambulance, it's a medical sector in which they should not be having this, because it's like they're picking up in a picture that they are only favoring that community and nothing else, which makes it unfair to the other people who are straight, are homo, who are whatsoever. So in such case, ambulance hospitals are for the entire community, not for a part of it. But otherwise, there's nothing wrong in that part. But then also the way how the ambulance or the owner of the ambulance have presented it, I personally think it is wrong.
Okay, thank you so much, Pascal.
You're welcome.
I agree with you also. I'm going to show you another picture.
Sure.
1 second. Okay. In Spain, in the university, students have 10th or 15th credit for getting subjects from another degrees. For example, you are studying electronic, a degree about electronic, but also you have 10 or 15% of credit for choosing subjects from another degrees. Okay, so it is a picture from 2001, 2002. Well, it's a big picture. It's not possible to see everything, but names is there, and I'm going to put this picture in my channel. But believe me, too many girls in this subject in 2001. However, I'm going to show you another picture. This picture was made in 1994, 1995. I am there.
Yeah.
This is when I was studying a profession in Spain. I was studying electronic. It was not in the university. It's levels, and you cannot see women here. My question is, women in Spain say I'm not free. However, are free for saying, Father, I'm going to sexology, okay? Because the another picture that I show you is sexology subject. So too many women going to study sexology, however, not going to study a profession. And they said that they are not free. I want that women and men in Spain and everywhere have the same rights. But could you tell me any explanation why women say I'm not free, however, are going to sexology and not going to study a profession in Spain? Please.
When it comes to a country like Spain, because I have traveled to Spain in 2000 and 2006. I have seen the way how women were free basically in Madrid, because it's the capital, it's very open, people are free. But then when it comes to like how towns, cities from the south, I believe that women are not free. They are mainly attached, held by the traditions and by the culture. And if we notice, south of Spain and Morocco, there is only, the Gibraltar Canal that lays them, that's all. So by that, we have to think that there is sort of a connection always when it comes to the south of a country, because around Europe, the south itself is related to the Muslim part. There are too many restrictions, no matter if we live in Europe. So yes, in other places of Spain, ladies are free, but then in other part, no. Now, if a lady chooses, she's not free and she chooses sexology, that's only because she can help many couples in that matter. She can stay home, be working from home and helping other couples to be doing that. It's nothing harmful. It is just saving a couple's life. It is just a humanity cause for it. I rather say it. If people talk about sexology, they will think, oh, it's sex. Yeah, but sex is what? I mean, it's something that everyone should be talking about because it's part of our nature. It's part of human. It's part of everywhere. If you go in nature, animals even do it. So it's not something that it should be very much a big matter. Yes, some of them are not comfortable in talking about it. That's why they go also to a sexology because they're having issues. So it is, I think, mainly not because she's a lady that people will have to point at her, but probably it is a culture that is squeezing her and putting her in a corner and not setting her free. So that's my opinion.
Okay, brilliant, Pascal. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
This question is very interesting. The next question. Okay, today I have seen an article from Diario de Cádiz, a newspaper from Spain, and it is very interesting for me and for this interview. The article is about if it is possible knowing a society by the way that making mothers. So talking that same mother in Spain have done because, for example, a man or a woman want to change life. For example, some women or some men in Spain have mother, for example, killing the daughter or the children because they start a new relation. So the newspaper said that it is possible to know in a society in the way that killing people, citizen killing another citizens. In my point of view, this article is deep in too much because, in my opinion, it's possible to know in a society by another way. For example, in United Kingdom, the police no wearing guns, and in Spain wearing guns. Normally in the most of the countries in the world, police wearing guns. So in my opinion, this article is too deep in. Don't matter how the way. Well, for knowing a society, you don't need to know how killing. But it is true, there is something very interesting because in Spain, people are very worried about what's thinking neighbors or families or whatever, because it's very sociable society. So some people have make a matter or killing another people for appearance another people. For example, I started a relation, you started a new relation, you thinking maybe my neighbor thinking bad about me because I have a children from another person. I am going to start a new relation, and this woman or man killing the children. What do you think about this? The question is, how do you think is the best way to knowing a society? I don't know if you understand me, what I try to say.
Why to kill a soul anyway? Why not like give it to someone, adopt, you know? It's same thing as abortion. It's same thing as abortion. And it's like, that's the point, like the first point. Do not kill, rather save. So rather give a child, a soul to someone else who will be loving to have this child, and then continue your life if you want. A police also the same thing. Probably the police at the authority level, they personally think that, okay, having a gun is for safety, is for this area is dangerous, this is not. While in the United Kingdom, they think, no, it is not really appropriate to have a gun, but few police people do have guns on them anyway. I have seen it, I have witnessed it, and it's all about safety over here. But still, there are ways to tackle this, but then it's the way how you are trained, the way how you understand the training that you were given, and the way how you adopt it into your daily life and in society.
Okay, but the question is, Pascale, which is the best way for knowing a society?
It's actually a good question, and it's a deep question also to answer, because I can answer in a very general way and I can answer in a very detailed way. But generally speaking, I mean, you have covered the points. You have covered the point in a very and I agree to you. I agree to your opinion, and I think that my opinion will be same as yours.
Okay, Pascale, if I want to know Nigeria society, tell me anything in general that for knowing your society. Anything that normally people doing, or
See, life here in Nigeria does not differ from England. It's the same. The only thing over here, it's not organized. There's only corruption over here, so I cannot answer you in that aspect. And when I talk about corruption, it's another topic we're talking about, and you understand what does that mean.
Okay, okay, so okay, your answer is brilliant. Corruption is okay, okay. I understand it now better your society. Okay, okay, the newspaper in Spain, the Diario de Cádiz have published another article because the council, the mayor of Cádiz say that the path on the beach, the path to access beaches have done for months, not for women. People laughing because I don't know what is the difference about a path. Have you seen any path for women and another path for men in any country? Because for me it is funny. For me, I think all paths are the same.
I've not seen such thing like this. Once again, it's if you're living in a village, maybe yeah, you can find this because culture, traditions, and all this, and the past is totally different than our time here. But I mean, if you go to capitals, there's nothing as such. Once again.
Okay. Another thing. One second. This is my license driving. I don't know if you got the same when you was living in United Kingdom. It's from European, and it is legal for using in all European countries. However, this one is coming with the British flag. So 4 years ago, in 2016, when I went to public office in Spain, I identified to myself with this license driving. And also I identify to myself with my passport. There is a video in my channel in YouTube where I recording inside to the public office. It's possible to see staff refusing to me for this reason. However, I am Spanish. In United Kingdom, never getting these problems. However, I am not British, I am Spanish. What do you think about? Have you suffered any, where have you suffered in case suffering discrimination? More in your country, more in United Kingdom? What do you think about this?
I was saying is that I did face same thing back in the United Kingdom and also in Nigeria. And in Nigeria, the Nigerians think that the white people are more, a lot of Nigerians being rich, and it's not a matter of identity. So if I go and present my Nigerian documents that I am Nigerian, they're like, no, you are Lebanese. We do not accept. So you go back to your country. Back in England, I faced the same thing. Back in England at that time, it was Al-Qaeda and, the Boko Haram that was at that time. So I was classified in a way because I am Lebanese as a terrorist. Like, I am Arab, so they needed to check if my mother is terrorist, my father is terrorist, I am terrorist, or any of my family is terrorist or something like that. So unfortunately, and the identity of yourself really is important, and you should really respect it in accordance to the country that you are in. So in your case, if you are Spanish, but then you showed your driving license and it has an English passport, I understand that the Spanish government will reject it because they want to be strictly pure Spanish and with the Spanish documentation. That's it. While contrary to England, gives much more freedom for you to be submitting your papers with other nationality, because they do not deny your first route, where you come from. And they accept you if you want to become an English and you want to present books, not any issue. Once again, it all depends on the government rules and regulations and laws of the country for you to identify yourself.
Yeah, but when I went to Spain, I identified to myself, my passport is Spanish. So it was crazy. My passport was Spanish and I suffer a discrimination because my license driving is coming with the British flag. But honestly, in the end, I thinking that the rules, the European rules are confusing. Nobody know the real rules in case, I don't know, but yeah. So you suffering more discrimination in United Kingdom than in your own country, no?
Yeah.
So yeah, because sometimes people in public office thinking that your family could be terrorists because you are from Nigeria, no?
Yes,
So,
and I remember also there was an instance where I was attacked by the chavs back in Plymouth, and they were too nasty. Where they attacked me physically and verbally was where they knew that there was no CCTV around me to protect myself, defend myself, and they made sure that the police was not around. And there were about 12 of them surrounding me, one hitting my back, one hitting my shoulder, one hitting my head. And then they were like, "What are you doing over here? Get out of my country. That's not your country. You're only coming here to sorry for this language. You can erase it after that if you want, but this is what I face. To come and fuck my people and then go back. You start, you bitch." So I've had this kind of thing. My brother, who is now English, have sort of like managed to run from that, but he have had also similar cases as such. Once again, is the way how you were brought up, is the way how the society have influenced you. So it's always going to be there.
and when the citizen that was around too, the majority was man or woman?
They were all men. That's why I said chavs, the chavs,
Okay,
which means the bad boys on.
it happened to you too many times or only at times or?
I could remember once, which was like the most horrible one. But then another time was after clubbing. There were also some racial exchange words, not from my side, but from an English person. But that's fine. No matter how much I can, at the end of the day, our identity is not with rules, the regulations and law. It's about our identity. It's about how we treat others that defines who you are. But with dealing governments and law and all this, they only deal in a political paper documents. That's it.
Yeah. Well, honestly, I have no suffered discrimination here, but discrimination is no good. But in my case, I suffering more discrimination in my own country than here. It's crazy, honestly. It is crazy, but it's okay. 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 Two more questions and finishing. The difference. Well, no, the way of greeting, how citizen greeting in your country, are you agree or not? In Spain, women greeting each other, giving kisses in cheek, mans, however, mans greeting, giving hands. And between mans and women, giving kiss too in the cheeks. What do you think about in your how greeting people in your country and in England, and what do you think about?
So in our own traditional, when we see each other, like close people or relatives, we do kiss 3 times. And if you not do this, it's very rude. It is considered very rude and not welcoming. So I was sure. So I was saying that back in Lebanon, our close relatives and our close friends, we give 3 kisses. If we do not do so, it is considered as rude and not welcoming. Unlikely, back in England, they do not know the kisses, but they know the hugs. So this is also a type of greeting. Now, because of the fact that I have been molding into many cultures, so I know that in Spain, they have a greeting. It's either, it depends on the region that you are in, but like the South, they greet, I think, 4 times. In Madrid, they greet 2 times. Even the French, they do 2 times. But also there's a part of France that they greet 3 times. Egyptian do greet 4 times also by kiss I'm talking about. While the most, I would say, identical religion, not religion, identical country or traditions or culture is the Indian, because the Indian do fold their hand and then bow their head for whoever it is. But when it comes to an elder, they need to bow themselves down to put their hand, touch their feet and take their blessing, and then they fall back. So I also have learned that way. So I personally think that when you meet someone, you try to adopt into their ways so that they feel comfortable with you. So once again, it is very, very beautiful to get to know the way how people greet and think.
Okay, but the reason because I asking this question is also because in Spain, women want to have the same rights than men. Okay, so however, women are thinking about getting the same salaries than men and getting the same rights than men. However, my question is, if women want to be the same in Spain, also have to thinking about how greeting, because between mans in Spain, mans doesn't giving kisses, only sharing the hands, and between women giving kisses. Do you think that it is could be machismo or not? Do you think that the behavior must be changed, or between women not giving kisses, or between men giving kisses, everybody giving kisses? I don't know. What do you thinking?
I consider Spain as a sexist country. So there is still a man domination over the women. Women till date are still fighting for their right, are still fighting to be equal to men. However, the government is not allowing that still, but I am sure that with time, things will get way better, same as other countries. Other countries have succeeded. Spain is yet to be there. Spain is still having their culture, their traditions. If they let go of these traditions, I'm sure that at that time, women and men will be equal.
Okay, but do you think should be good that between men in Spain giving kisses in the cheek, or do you think should be better that between women not giving kisses, because or all giving kisses or nobody giving kisses, but not between women, and not only kisses between women and between men and women, and between men not giving kisses? So do you think if women it is this I'm talking about, do you think that greetings have been part of the rise, or because the government cannot make a law about kisses? I don't know.
No, as I said, once again, it's part of the culture. It's part of the culture that there's a domination from men to women. And now if I am Spanish and I want to greet someone, I will only greet them depending on how I feel, not depending on what society will impose on me. That's my personal opinion. So if I see that, okay, this man, but the body language of it, I can see that there's a connection on a friendly way and he's respectful and decent, I'll come and give him the kisses, and that's fine. If I see that he's a conservative person, very reservative, then I will just be fine. Hello, how are you? ¿Cómo estás? And that's it. And then we move on.
Okay, Pascal. Okay, thank you. Okay. The difference between in education, which difference have you found between your country and England? In your country, education is free, is more expensive in United Kingdom. In which country do you think education is better? I don't know.
Okay, in terms of that, I would say that my dad actually put us in one of the toppest schools in Nigeria. It's a French school, and it's all related to the French in France, curriculum. So it was one of the most toughest and good schools that they teach you about the entire history around the world, from the 1700 to all the way 2000. So I remember when I was passing my test, I had to know all the dates between that and that. I had to know also on the economical aspect, on the social aspect, on the geographical aspect. So I had a huge knowledge. When I shifted to England, and I remember in my first day in uni, when I entered, it was in an economic class. And then there was a question about supply and demand, and it was a historical question, which nobody could even answer because nobody was aware of it. I was at the door standing, I opened and I said, 1895. Everyone turned and it was like, correct, who are you? I said, I'm the new student that I'm supposed to join, all the way from Nigeria. Please come inside. So the knowledge I have gained in that first class back in Nigeria have helped me in England. With time I got to know, I saw the difference that actually, compared to England, was here, while English was here, the way how they taught. Back in university, I think it's kind of the same, because back in France, people study a lot. They don't have time to go partying or clubbing. While in England, we did have a lot of time, and we have a lot of gap for us to be going to parties, studying, and having fun. And then when it comes to exams, the exam were actually very, how can I say, very easy. I don't used to study. I used to go party, have fun. Then when the exam come, I'll go in the class, very drunk. After 30 minutes, I'll answer all the questions and I bring first. So for me, it was very, very easy. So I personally think that England, yes, England is being recognized as one of the top education, but also I personally think that the foreign schools that are located in Nigeria, like the French school that I have studied, are also one of the toppest.
Okay, but I agree with you in some points. But for example, something good in England is in primary school and secondary school. I think a teacher in a school teaching students. However, when making the exams, the teacher that teaching in the class is not the person that put the notes, not reviews. The teacher, the sons have collected, but people outside from the school. So it is a good point, because you suppose that as a student, a teacher hate a student, or hate the religion, or hate whatever. They cannot put the lower score for these reasons. In Spain, sometimes a teacher has too many power, and sometimes they don't put the right score to students. So do you think it's a good point or not?
No, because we send our kids to have a good knowledge and support. So if I'm sending my kid to the school to have a support, that means that the teacher should be there. The education should be supporting in many cases, because I am paying for that fee that covers from A to Z. I have seen cases where the school is not covering, and the parents back home are the ones struggling and doing the teacher's job. It is very important that education should be supporting from A to Z and be the guidance, the core guidance of knowledge for the future generation of the kids or our kids.
Okay, and the last question, I believe me, the last question. It is a real example, okay? I went to Salzburgo and I went to the hostel, okay? In the recession, I asked for a single room, okay? And they said to me, sorry, we don't have single rooms. Okay, and I said, could you give me a room with 4 beds? And they said to me, no, sorry, only have double rooms. Okay, so I accepted because I needed to sleep. When I went to the room, I found a girl younger than me, and the bed was together. She and me sleeping well together because the bed was together. What are you doing in this situation if it happened to you? Do you with a girl or with a woman or with a boy or with a man? What doing in this situation, and what do you think? Why the hostel doing this? Have this behavior?
Okay. The thing is that, let me just clarify one thing. I don't go actually to have this kind of situation, because I usually go like, let me just put it that way, but I'll try and put myself in your shoes. I usually go for hotels of 5 stars and above, and I pay for that so I can have my privacy, because I love my privacy. But if I had to be in the same situation, I'd rather be with a lady than a man. The reason being is only because they say when there is a man and a woman just in a room, the third person is a devil. So, and the man has an animal instinct that he cannot control. So if he sees a beautiful girl with curves, assets that he likes, you don't know what can happen. It's either, okay, everything will go smooth, they can connect, or either the guy with the side that he wants to rape her. I'm talking in that aspect because there are many cases that are actually happening. And let us be honest, it's out of control. So I personally think that I'd rather be with a lady than being with a man. I can only be with a man if I know him and trust him.
Okay, if you find a man, what are you doing? You will be in the room, or you will go to the reception and you say in the reception, please, I would like another room, or you are sleeping in the room?
No, I will go to the reception and I'll say, see, I'm ready to pay the double. Give me one of your nicest rooms. I just want to have my space. I just want to be alone. I want to pay for a single bed or double bed or king bed, just a room of my own. So, and I'm sure the hotel will not say no because I'm paying more.
Okay, if the person that is in the room like you will get the same behavior, you go into the reception or not?
See, if it's a person that I know and that we connect, and like, for example, my brother Edson, right? I don't mind being in the same room with him at all, because but if it's a stranger, it's a totally no.
Okay, doesn't matter.
Because I don't trust.
Doesn't matter doesn't matter his appearance or her appearance. Doesn't matter if you like or not.
Yeah,
You go to the.
Yeah, it's not about appearance for me. It's about vibe speaks, energy speaks louder than anything else. And I personally think a stranger's energy speaks more about second intention than anything else.
Okay, Pascal. Thank you so much. It's finished. It's gone. Thank you for your time. Okay, and brilliant. Thank you. Okay, so
I appreciate.
Keep contact with you. Okay, so thank you so much.
Yeah, sure, definitely. Thanks a
Okay,
lot.
thank you.
Thanks a
Have a
lot.
good day, Pascal.